Like, do you have like a favorite knockout? Like, is that, do you have it, or is it like, people don't choose their favorite kids, or do you have one that's particularly stands out for you?
The favorite knockout that stands out for me. Favorite knockout that stands out for me is probably I go back to the Dillian one. Sweet, because that was like, when I first started boxing, I was just in Finchley, and like you hear little things where the coach is like, this geezer, if he has a little sneeze, he'll pull out of a fight and say he's got the flu. He's not a serious guy, and this and that. So when I fought Dillian, I'd been training. Like, they called me on Thursday night and said, "Do you want to fight Friday?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, let's fight." So imagine, like, I've been training every day. So I was in a fight. You have to have your peak time and your deload time, so you're ready, you recover. So when I fought Dillian, he was like a world championship kickboxer. I'd been training till Thursday. It was a good fight. He beat me. Respect to you. Well done. Then when I was just going through this boxing thing as an amateur, he was always talking rubbish on the internet, like, when you turn pro, I'm going to smoke you, this, that. And I've never been one to get onto the internet wars. So that fight was now like, all that internet stuff you've been talking, now you're facing the real one. And then it was like North London, South London, Watford, South London. It was just a whole saga in London where it was like, let's see who the best of the best is. And it was kind of like that Joyce and Dubois fight, that who's going to go on and be the next one. And that knockout just cemented, if you would have lumped, 100 pounds on it, this kid's going to go on and be a world champion, that would have been a sure bet, because I feel like that uppercut was a cement to where we was about to go.
The Kubrat knockout, big knockout, but all your knockouts are different. And this one was a straight right hand to put him down. When you get a knockout, are they all different? Like the feelings that you get from a knockout, are they all different from you? And this one, was it different than the Povetkin knockout? Was it different from the Dillian Whyte knockout? Kind of walk us through those moments of finishing off Pulev.
Okay, so like, it's a boxing match. I've got a lot to lose and a lot to gain. So I box with boxing IQ. I don't just go out there and it's not a street fight. I have an understanding of what the sweet science is about. So I hit, I don't get hit. Pull, counter, boom. That aggression in me is always there. So I wanted to take him out. I saw a chink in his armor. I felt like the referee should have stopped the fight, but in a way, I think it's good, because being out for a year, 9 rounds was perfect. So the next few rounds, coach said, just go back to what you was doing in round 1 and round 2 and get back to your boxing. That's what you do best. So I just got back to my boxing, and it gave me a chance to try different things. I was moving out of the way of shots, rolling a few left hooks, and it was good. It was a good time to get back to my boxing. And with the knockout, the part I loved about it the most, which they didn't show, is that it split his mouth open here. So on the left side of his face. If you ever see Pulev again, you'll notice he's probably got stitches on his mouth now, because his mouth was split open. So the power of the punch that hit him, that took him down, it was powerful enough to when the right hand hit his mouth, it obviously put so much pressure on the gum shield, it actually ripped it wasn't just the skin, it actually split it open. And I love that. I really enjoyed that part. If you watch when his head hit the canvas, you see blood starts pouring on his face. You look closely, and it was nice to see that my right hand's starting to come to fruition now.
When you look at somebody like Muhammad Ali, obviously there can't be another one, but does it give you like inspiration to do those things when you see somebody who risked it all and put his career on the line? I know you talk about not being remembered and the memories, but everybody remembers that man because of the sacrifice he made, and I don't think he ever did a single one to be remembered.
Exactly. He never done a single one to be remembered. And you just have to be true to who you are at the end of the day, because, if you're in front of the camera so many times, there's only so many masks you can wear. As long as you just wear that one mask, people are going to take you for who you are. I'd rather people accept me for who I am than who I'm trying to be. So it's nice now. Muhammad Ali was like the last of the generation trying to fight for a position where, I can take ownership for my career. Where, you look back in the history of the heavyweight division, Archie Moore, Jack Johnson, Ezra Charles, these guys really struggled to make their way through the heavyweight division. Archie Moore fought for the championship, I think, at 51, when he had to go to heavyweight, to lightweight, back up and down to get his shot because of this color of his skin. So there's a lot of history where people have faced a lot of prejudice, and Muhammad Ali was a loss of a generation to stand up and I feel like fight for the cause independently. But what's nice about today's society is big corporations are also supporting the BAME community now and wanting to do right and wanting to do things that are inclusive and cultural acceptance. And I think it's amazing because hopefully in my kids' generation, they'll live in a better society where everyone gets along and more. And ultimately, as we've witnessed, if everyone gets along, it will lead to less situations where we can face civil wars and stuff going on in country.